So I absolutely love my new space, and specifically the views. I have views of the mountains, the city, and a water source on the property, which makes it so incredibly nice. I love sitting in the jacuzzi at night. The wildlife here is gorgeous. Everything from bucks to bobcats. A little messy there. I'm waiting to hang up my yoga swing, but there's the garden. It's since gotten a lot bigger. I've actually harvested all of that up, and I'm on my third planting at this time. So I've got some herbs, lots of green leaf lettuce, broccoli, and then out there I can actually get the nopal cactus and juice the tops of it and fry the nopal in coconut oil. There's some basil, some cilantro, parsley, garlic chives, regular chives, dill, kohlrabi, broccoli, kale, baby lettuces. I've got everything. Bok choy, huge amounts of bok choy.
Oh, goodness. I had to slide off the counter there. Hello, how are all of you? All right, I think we're live everywhere, and I have to hit a button on Instagram. Oh my gosh, this is... Okay, let's get started. How are all of you? Yeah, that looks great. How are all of you guys? Yay, I'm so happy you're here. So I literally have been running around like crazy because I'm running a retreat at the local resort, and oh my goodness, I just went and looked at the garden. I grabbed some things from the garden. And what I was planning on doing tonight is I thought I would teach you how to make some onion rings in a dehydrator, because I had a ton of onions that I actually planted not in the garden beds but on the opposite side of the house when I moved in, and they grew beautifully. So I have an overabundance of onions, an overabundance of sweet potatoes, so an overabundance of tomatoes. So I decided I would use those up. But before I get started, I just want all of you to say hello, tell me where you are tuning in from in the comment section below, and city, state, country, and tell me if you are vegan, tell me if you are growing your own food, tell me if you are eating a primarily plant-based diet. So, you know, it's really, really interesting. Everyone who attends these retreats I run, it always fascinates me how many more people year after year have gone plant-based. When I first started running these retreats and I would talk about a plant-based diet like 9 years ago, people really weren't on the up and up on it, and now people are. And I just think it's really fascinating. So I'm gonna say hi to all of you. Okay, so what I thought we would do, I just wanna first show you some of the greens from the garden. This is actually green leaf lettuce that was grown in my garden, literally just picked it, still has the dirt on the bottom. I have a head of cabbage that is literally bigger than my head. It's like this big. I have romaine lettuce that is huge and blossoming. I'm gonna have to take a video of that. I have fresh basil, and I've got a little bit of sage, and although I only use sage in soups and I use it in my spiritual work, I thought that this would be nice, so I'll kind of set that aside. And what I think I'll do is I think I'm going to first show you the onion rings. And aren't these tomatoes beautiful from the garden? So just to show you, stuff that you grow in your garden is not perfect. See all the like little ridges and things? It's not perfect, and that's okay, right? These are kind of a little bit wilted from the sun. It's almost like they're semi-sun-dried, and that's okay. Thank you for all the likes on Instagram. Thank you, Facebook. So how I made these right here. What these are is these are dehydrated onions and dehydrated mushrooms, and this is a actual dehydration tray. I've got a huge dehydrator over there in the corner that I use almost daily. So whenever I see that I have an overabundance of food from the garden, or too much of something or just too much on hand. That's when I start utilizing canning methods, dehydration, things of that nature, because I don't want things to go to waste. You can see even the skins of my onions I save, and I actually put them in the oven with some sea salt, and I grind them down into a powder and use it almost like a seasoning on my salad. So thumbs up if any of you know that the nutritional value in the skins of vegetables and fruits are they've got a lot of phytonutrients in them. So you don't want to throw these things away. So that's why I tend to save all of this. So in order to make the onions, this is super, super, super duper easy. You're just gonna get a dehydrating tray and you're gonna stick it in front of you. You're gonna take an onion, you're gonna peel the onion and save the peel. And we wanna make onion rings, right? So you're gonna cut the ends off and you're gonna save the ends for composting. And I'm gonna try not to cry while there's nothing really for me to cry about though, so sorry. So I'm going to kind of separate them into onion rings, and I'm gonna actually put them on the dehydrating tray. Now here's the key. You wanna separate them enough, and you always wanna use the mesh dehydrator. You do not want to use the dehydrating sheets for this method. So why a dehydrator instead of an oven? Well, because our body stops making enzymes after the age of about 20. And enzymes, when we use our enzymes up, we age more rapidly. So by eating more raw living foods, foods that are not heated over a certain temperature, i.e. that's why I use the dehydrator, I'm actually, let me make this part a little easier, I'm actually preserving the enzymes in the food, right? And it's actually a way to prevent degenerative diseases. It's a way to slow the aging process down. And my dog just got something out of the dehydrator. It's a way to really preserve on a cellular level. And so here I am, I'm just gonna continue. See, I've kind of got them like in little rings. I'm gonna continue placing them in rings. Now, why don't I season these while they're on the tray? Well, the dehydrator can get absolutely filthy. It's not like an oven where you can just reach in and clean it. You have to like take it apart to clean it, and it's a total pain in the butt. So what I tend to do is I tend to just allow the heat, the light heat to cook, but it doesn't really cook because we're preserving the enzymes. It's raw living food. To cook or uncook the onion rings, and then when they're done, I put them in a canning jar. Okay, so here I have them, like so. I'm gonna pop these in the dehydrator overnight at like 85 to 90 degrees. I'm gonna flip them over in the morning for about an hour more. Then I'm gonna slide them out. I'm gonna put them in a big wide mouth canning jar. And what I like to do is I sprinkle a little garlic salt, turmeric. I put turmeric on everything. It's like my favorite spice to intake because it's excellent for inflammation. And I put a little bit of garlic salt on there. I never use pepper because it's a digestive irritant. And that's how I season these. And then I'll put these on my salad tonight. So this is a really quick and easy way to use up onions. Now, I know what you're saying. You're thinking, or maybe you're not, but you're probably thinking, Andrea, I don't have a dehydrator. I can't afford a $400 or a $300, $200, $600 dehydrator. I've had my dehydrator for 10 years, first of all. I like the Excalibur dehydrator, is my favorite. And what I would do if I were you is I would do the same method, only pre-season them, and you can stick them in the oven for like 350 degrees, very short amount of time, like 25 minutes max, and you'll get the same effect. You can also, and here's another method, you could cover this with another sheet and put this in the sun. It's perfectly okay to bake your food in the sun. You get all the vitality and the vibrancy from the sun. So that's another method that you can use. So I'm gonna pop these over here. I'm gonna show you one other thing I made. You see, I dehydrated these little mushrooms right here. Right here, they're like really hard, you can see. They're hard. And I like dehydrated mushrooms. Mushrooms are full of B vitamins, and the nutrients, phytonutrients, the B vitamins are readily available more when they're slightly cooked, but I don't eat a lot of cooked food. I never have. I have been mostly raw for almost 23 years. On the rare occasion when I do eat cooked food, it is a baked starch like a sweet potato or baked butternut squash, or on occasion I'll crave something that my grandma used to make that's a very like lineage oriented, like polenta with vegan butter or something like that, right? Although she didn't use vegan butter, but that's okay. And this mix that I made to stuff these mushrooms is super easy. I used pumpkin seeds and actually used the stems of the mushrooms. So many of you throw out the stems, and every part of your food has nutrients, right? So if you're still hungry after you eat, so I'm gonna actually stuff these and I'm gonna put them back in to the dehydrator, like that. So every part of your food has nutrients. These onion skins have nutrients. It's why I use them. Every single part of your food has nutrients. Mango skins, which are notoriously known to be toxic, they actually have a lot of phytonutrients in them. Every single food, there's nutrient in the skin. Even when you're eating animal foods such as eggs, people who eat egg whites only, it's a very fitness, bodybuilder thing to do. It actually depletes the body of biotin and causes depression. All the goodness, all the B vitamins are in that yolk. So what are you doing, right? So these are things we need to know, folks, in order to raise your vibration. And again, I'm vegan. I've been vegan for 23 years. I'm in my mid-40s, and I don't feel like I'm lacking anything from an egg, which we in the vegan community call, I don't even want to say what we call them, or a dead decomposing animal at all. So I'm going to set all this stuff aside, and I'll put this stuff in the dehydrator later. And I'm going to I'll just pop this over here. I'm going to kind of show you what I would do just for dinner. Just very, very quick. I'm just going to kind of separate these like so. I'm going to kind of lay them on here. Again, beautiful, beautiful food, all from the garden. Oh, you know what? I need to wash it first. Hang on. Definitely need to wash it first. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick all this in here. And put a little capful of vinegar in it if it wasn't my own food, but because I grew up my own garden and I know there's no bullshit on there, I'm literally just kind of giving it a quick little ice bath. And anything that should not be on there, any parasite, anything like that, piece of grass, anything is going to float to the top of this water. Thank you for the hearts, you guys. Okay. So I'm gonna kind of move it like so, and you can see the water barely has any dirt in it, right? All right. So I'm just gonna kind of lay everything around like so, and I'm actually not very hungry tonight. I've been running around like a literal mad woman, and I'm just gonna take one of these beautiful tomatoes because I want some color in here. You know, I see a lot of people going vegan, and that's great, but they're eating packaged processed bullshit, and that's really not the way to go vegan at all. The way you go plant-based is to actually eat fruits and vegetables, to fill your body with fruits, vegetables, juice, things of that nature. So I'm gonna grab those dehydrated onions I made. Actually, first I'm gonna grab something in my fridge. Okay, so this is some really great, this is a mixture I make with nutritional yeast, hemp seeds, a bunch of stuff, and I actually keep it in the cabinet every week. So I'm gonna sprinkle like 2 tablespoons on there. Nutritional yeast is full of B vitamins. It's also gluten-free, so don't let the word yeast fool you. So good, oh my God. Oh. You forget how hungry you are until, I'm not real hungry though. Yum. I'm gonna take some dulse. Dulse is a sea vegetable. It's really high in iron. Such a little erudite. And I'm gonna put the dulse. This is gorgeous. Freaking gorgeous, you guys. And this is like 5 minutes. Your food should not take hours to make. It's because you're cooking it to death. You need to get into some raw food. I'm gonna take those dehydrated onion rings that we made. I'm just gonna kind of put those on. It's gonna be like a big pizza without the crust. Where's the pineapple? Yum! Those are so freaking good, for real. I'm gonna take some mushrooms and I'm just gonna kind of plate the rest. And it's all raw, all vegan. Ooh, those are strong. Ooh, Andrea. And there you go. So easy, 100% raw, vegan. Maybe I'll put some cucumber on here. It's from yesterday from the garden. And that's it. I'm gonna make my sprinkle with that, and sorry you guys. You know, this is how I eat, really, really simple. I'll have like a dark chocolate vegan bar, raw vegan bar when I'm done with this. And, you know, I don't complicate things. I don't make, you know, tacos with 25 ingredients. I don't make complicated things. I don't, you know, if I want tacos, I'll make the shells from scratch, or I'll buy taco shells, I'll stuff them with some guacamole, salsa, that's it. I don't do the fake meat. Sorry, you guys. All the fake stuff, you really, really don't need it. All you need is to eat real food. So, thank you for the heart. So, if you want to see more things like this, hop on over to AndreaCox.com, subscribe to my newsletter. You can also join me on Andrea Cox TV and subscribe to my channel there for holistic wellness. You can also find me on Instagram at Raw Chef Andrea and on YouTube at The Detox Intuitive for my spiritual channel, and Andrea Lee, L-E-I-G-H Cox on TikTok. I seem to be growing a following there, and I love each and every one of you. I'm so excited for all of you to just get healthier, start growing your own food. I'm actually working on editing a garden video right now for Andrea Cox TV. I think you guys will be, I literally have an onion in the side of my mouth. I think you, Maverick wants to say hello. I think you guys will be really impressed with the garden video. Can you see him? Anyway, does your dog do this too? All right, we'll say hello. We'll say hello. You want to say hello? Oh, Say hello. Say hello. Say hello. Okay. All right, you guys. No, that's not an invitation to get on the counter. I hope you guys have a beautiful night, and I will see you soon. If you're interested in the retreats, you can check the website, AndreaCox.com, click on retreats, and the holistic wellness coaching is also available there, along with the intuitive life coaching. Everything's self-explanatory in the description box, and my dogs do not come with my services. Thank God. They're mine. Okay, bye you guys. Bye. Be well.